Welcome to the 5 at 5 North London Derby disappointment. Now, if you saw my match reaction yesterday, you would have seen that, I was very deflated, very disappointed with 2 points dropped. And I say that because as an Arsenal fan, when you get Tottenham at home in the Premier League in that derby, you know we typically win that game. I go into that game expecting to win. Away from home, you might not have as much confidence, but certainly at home, I want those 3 points. And we didn't get it. Let's get into my 5 at 5 and see what some of those reasons were that we didn't get it, and actually, were we a little bit lucky as well? Let's get into my 5 at 5. Number 1, Gabriel Jesus. I mean, you know what I'm talking about here. You know that moment in the game that could have completely changed the course of the game. It could have meant Tottenham 2-0 down and, their approach not working. Their approach has cost them. Madison being caught on the edge of the box and Arsenal's high press having won the battle against Tottenham, trying to play out from the back. And it could have really caused a bit of a confidence crisis in that Tottenham team in the match and given us all the momentum, and it didn't happen. Now, there's 2 ways of looking at this, right? They're saying that Jesus, incredible work, did really well to press so well, so with so much intensity and win the ball. Or you can say, forget all of that, you should just be scoring. And I think I do find myself between the two, but ultimately I'm towards the second part of that. He's just got to score. Even if you've done all the good work to create that chance out of nothing, it doesn't matter. You just have to score that chance. When that comes to you in such an important game, such an important stage of the game, you have to score that goal. At least hit the target. I mean, come on. How can you blaze that over? You had so much time, no one to do anything, no one to get a foot in or anything, and you hit it over the bar. It's unacceptable. But isn't that Gabriel Jesus all over? Unbelievably good footballer, unbelievably hard worker, but just not clinical enough. That is the story of Gabriel Jesus. And actually, potentially it's a story of this entire Arsenal team. Take a look at what's on your screen right now. Arsenal are a team at the very top of the table. We're in there, the first 1, 2, 3 place in the Premier League table. But when it comes to being clinical, creating chances, converting chances, as you can see, we are not good enough. And we've got a lot of improvement to do. Now, on the other hand, you could say that we've got loads of players that get to double-digit goals. For example, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, Trossard, Jesus. But maybe we'd be better off if we just had one absolute killer that the majority of these chances went through and were put away by. How do you see it? Do you like the fact that Arsenal have got so much variety in their attacking players? Or do you think, actually, as good as Jesus is, whatever you think about Nketiah, we need a absolute killer up front? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Number 2, a funny little moment from the game yesterday. I don't know if you all noticed this, but obviously when Tottenham got their first goal, their first equaliser, Madison absolutely spun Bukayo Saka. Saka, you could see the stars and stuff going around his head. He was dizzy. And to be fair, Madison did very well in that moment, and they went off and celebrated. But when Saka scored his penalty and ran to the corner to celebrate, his celebration you might recognise. That is the old dart celebration that Madison has used so many times in the past. It seemed like a little bit of banter between 2 people that, listen, yes, I know they play for rival clubs, but they are England teammates. They're probably mates off the pitch, and Saka was probably having a bit of a laugh at Madison's expense after Madison got the better of him. Unfortunately, Madison had the last laugh, though, with what he did to Jorginho and how he got 2 assists in the game and basically took 2 points away from Arsenal. But anyway, nice little touch from Bukayo Saka there. Number 3, Arsenal weren't actually that good yesterday. Now look, the eye test compared to what you see in terms of statistics is very different. And I always trust the eye test. I know that watching the game in the ground yesterday, I felt like Arsenal were unlucky not to win. And that's because we did go 2-1 up and gave the goal away in such stupid fashion. And we never should have done that. Also, the fact that certain injuries, Rice going off, very unlucky. Overall, I just felt like, we should have seen that game out. But then when I went home and I looked at the statistics, I was shocked. I was very surprised. Tottenham, they had more possession than us. Of the 5 top players to have the most completed passes on the pitch, 4 of those were Tottenham players. Only Zinchenko appeared in that list. Tottenham actually had more passes successfully completed than Arsenal even had passes attempted. So overall, Tottenham were better than us on the ball. Martin Odegaard even admitted in his post-match interview that we weren't good enough on the ball. And he was right when he said off the ball we were good. We actually, for once, won more duels in the opposition. I thought we were really aggressive, really good in terms of our pressing, but on the ball we just weren't at it. Martin Odegaard, he was below his usual level. It just didn't work for us. Obviously, the injuries didn't help. It disrupted us a lot, and we've got a lot of players out. Timber, Partey, for example. Now, you've got to ask yourself, if Declan Rice gets injured at half time, but we can put Partey in that position, we probably go on and win the game. If Declan Rice doesn't get injured, again, we probably go on and win the game. But on the ball, we just simply weren't good enough. So perhaps a draw might have been a fair result. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Number 4, red for Ed. Eddie Nketiah, was he lucky to stay on the pitch after his lunge against Vicario in the second half? Now look, you can see what Eddie Nketiah was trying to do there. He was trying to get in the way of where he thought the pass might go. But the way he went in, I have to be completely honest with you. For me, I'm watching that and I'm glad the referee didn't give it, but I think that's a red card. He's gone in, studs up at serious pace, and that is one of those challenges, undoubtedly, that if the Tottenham players' studs are sort of stuck in the ground, that can be a leg breaker. Now, you might turn around and say, oh, it wasn't that bad, and it wasn't that much contact, etc. When you decide to give a player a red card, it's not because that they have kind of got away without injuring the player. It's about stamping out challenges that can potentially injure a player. We know as Arsenal fans, we've seen plenty of those challenges over the years where we've called for more protection. And I have to admit, when you look at Malo Gusto for Chelsea getting a red card against Aston Villa, I think Nketiah's challenge was worse than that. And I think we got out of jail there and we're quite lucky. I can't believe Nketiah stayed on the pitch after getting that yellow card, because one more little niggle and I think the referee would have sent him off, because he probably knew that even though he gave him a yellow, it's what you call one of those orange cards. And I think Mikel Arteta got that sub wrong. But anyway, I think the referee was very, very generous with Arsenal, and we were lucky to keep 11 men on the pitch. Let me know if you agree with me in the comments below. Number 5, if you haven't seen Arsenal do this on many, many occasions, you haven't been paying attention enough. But our tactics when it comes to a penalty are very funny and very interesting. And yesterday, it almost had me fooled as well, because Martin Odegaard had the ball in his hand. He's standing over the penalty spot when, we've been given that second penalty and when that VAR review is pending. And he held the ball for very, very long. Only right at the last minute did he hand the ball over to Saka. Even as you saw in that video clip, Bissouma went up to Vicario, said something, then went up to Odegaard as he was leaving the penalty area, said something to Odegaard, probably trying to get in his head, etc. And all the while, Bukayo Saka is just chilling, being able to compose himself. So much of football is mental. So much of it is in the mind. I love the fact that Arsenal do this. They don't leave anything to chance. Unfortunately, what should have been the winner wasn't the winner because of what happened afterwards. But yeah, in case you hadn't noticed that, in case you hadn't noticed Arsenal doing that, now you see in very, very clear terms, that's something that Arsenal do very, very regularly. They just kind of throw off the scent of the penalty taker so he can just focus on his preparation and someone else can take all the mind games. Love the attention to detail. Thank you for watching the 5 at 5. We now go on a run of 3 away games. Brentford in the Carabao, Bournemouth in the Premier League, and Lens in the Champions League, all away from home before we return back to the Emirates against a huge game against Man City. Let's see how we do in our 3 away games. Hopefully we take some good form into that Man City game. Crucial, crucial game already. If they win, we are 7 points behind. I'm not going to say it's a must win, but it's certainly a must not lose. After the Community Shield, hopefully we've got a bit of a mental block removed against Man City and we can make that count and get 3 points, fingers crossed, against Man City. I'll see you after the Brentford game. I'll see you after the Brentford game in the Carabao Cup on Wednesday. Take care.